Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin. And if you are here on this channel, you know that the Ravens just got their first victory of the season. That's what we're here to talk about, give you our instant reaction, give our takes, good, bad, ugly, and otherwise. Of course, the Baltimore Ravens pull off a tight victory in Dallas, 28-26. We're going to talk about all things regarding this game. But before we do, Glenn, let the folks know who keeps the lights on around here, who our great partner is. In BetOnline and what they got going on specifically, if there's anything that folks should get excited about.
Oh, absolutely. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on while the games are being played. If you think you know your stuff, get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the games are over, head on over to the online casino, get in a hand of blackjack, some poker, unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Let's go. Speaking of the game, Glenn, it was a nail biter. The Ravens, of course, can't just win a football game. And look, I know we got a lot to talk about, but if it's okay with you, I'm going to take the torch here first. And I'm not going to go in chronological order because I think while there's a lot to talk about, I am most frustrated with the special teams. I'm frustrated with the fact that we couldn't recover the onside kick, and I'm frustrated with it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, but I think Justin Tucker's only field goal attempt, right? Was the 46-yarder that he missed.
Yeah, yep.
And to me, that compounds on itself because I think that if we were more confident in Justin in a dome, that kick at the end of the game that is a punt, that was a great punt, but that could have been 3 2 years ago, right? So anyway, I don't want to start off negative. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to start off. I mean, I guess I am starting off negative, but I don't want to be all negative. But to me, of all the things that everyone's going to talk about this game, that to me really stuck out as a sore thumb for the Baltimore Ravens because those plays swing in the score, but also swing in momentum. So anyway, I know, look, a road victory is great. We pulled off the win, got the first one. A lot of things look good, but I just kind of wanted to place that on the table because that's what I'm most frustrated about right now.
Well, hey, good win. Needed the win. You go to 1-2. The season is not over, ladies and gentlemen. I think if they would have went 0-3, only one of the last 130 teams to start the season 0-3 go on to make the playoffs. So, look, I'm excited. This team still has a chance. I think even at 1-2, only one of like 9 – 1 out of 9 is like the teams that made it last year. So I think, hey, we're that one, Jimbo. We are that one. Big win. And look, the offensive line wasn't perfect, but I think we got to give this offensive line credit. After bashing them for 2 weeks, rightfully so, they bounced back. Sure, there were moments where Micah Parsons absolutely embarrassed individual players on this offensive line. And I still have a disagreement on certain personnel usage, but got to give these guys credit. I mean, anytime you run the ball for 274 yards, I mean, that's pretty damn special. Lamar, 12 of 15 passing. You keep your quarterback in good enough condition to where he can do that. 139 quarterback rating, has 1 touchdown, no picks, sacked 0 times, Jimbo. So not only do you keep your quarterback clean and upright, you also run the ball for 74 yards, averaging 6.1 yards a carry. Shout out to this offensive line dealing with a really good front for the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're right. And I just got to say this. I know a lot of people hate Daniel Faalele these days, but he had a massive hole that he cleared on a big play that Derrick Henry broke off started out right, and then he bounced it left.
Yeah.
Look, didn't have a perfect game. Like you said, some people got embarrassed out there. But I think to your point, to sum it up in one word, improvement. Like, is that what we can focus on? You know what I mean? Like, was it perfect? No, but was there improvement? Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
Well, if nothing else, from a game plan standpoint, I mean, if Joseph Eckert, I wish they had a halftime slaughter rule because holy crap. How the hell did this game become competitive? How the hell was I sweating at the tail end of the fourth quarter? It's unbelievable. Joe says it right. But look, I mean, if anything else, Jimbo, they seem to have gotten it from a game plan standpoint. They threw the ball 15 times. They ran the ball 45 times.
So they didn't outsmart themselves like we thought they were going to do, right?
Right. They stuck to what they should be doing, which is run the ball and set up the pass through the run. Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 151 yards, averaging 6 a carry, 2 tutties. He breaks off the 29-yarder. And then Lamar Jackson, look, it really wasn't 15 to 45 because Lamar did scramble on a couple called passes, but 14 carries, 87 yards, 6.2 a carry. I love it. Run the ball and then pass with efficiency. That's what they did today, Jimbo. You got to give these guys credit, man.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And look, I don't know if this will be this run heavy, like, whatever. What'd you say? It was 12? No, it was 15 pass attempts. It ended up being
45 carries. Yep.
So I don't know if it'll be obviously that heavy, but I think the big point, in games in the future, I don't think it'll be that heavy leaning. But I think to Glenn's point, they stuck to the game plan as far as what they saw on tape against the Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints against the Cowboys, and they executed, right? There's no outsmarting. There's no QT to it. Derrick Henry got an opportunity to get going.
Yes.
Get you know what I mean? Really have an opportunity to get the wheels churning and get moving. And it was exciting to watch. Certainly it was validating for a lot of Ravens, a lot of fans as well, and exciting. But to your point about Lamar, though, let's actually get this really quick. Masi says, a W that feels like a L. The good, 1, perfect drives, mixing it to get lead. 2, the jet sweep fake to ice it. 3, defense good after being put in tough spots. So, yeah, I mean.
I don't think it doesn't feel like an L to me. I get the frustration.
I guess I would be 10 times more upset.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the way it ended wasn't perfect, but let's remember, Lamar picks up a big first down on the fake jet. I mean, you got to love it. I'm not that upset. You win a game on the road against a desperate Cowboys team that's still star-studded and got tons of talent. But, yeah, they got shit they got to work on. I mean, you said it, Jimbo. Like, what are we doing? Justin Tucker, bro. Like, Aubrey's kicking 65-yarders like it's nothing, and the Ravens won't even try a 57-yarder to basically ice the game. They elect to punt instead. Don't we have the GOAT, Jimbo? I thought we don't. I don't think we have the best kicker in the league anymore. I think that's fair to say.
I hate saying that. It's really frustrating for me to say because if you look at his career accolades, it's just ridiculous. But something is wrong with Justin Tucker. Something needs to be talked about. We can't just sweep it under the rug at this point, which I honestly think John is trying to do. Ignore it. He'll come around. Ignore it. He'll come around.
That's what I would try and do. Hope that it just changes.
I don't know. Is it best to ignore it and come around or just hit it head on and say, Justin, this is where you're at. You suck. Like, be truthful in the mirror.
He's probably beating himself up, and it's probably obvious to his teammates and coaches.
Maybe.
He's probably so – I mean, we see him in practice, how he's hard on himself.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is to turn this boat around. And maybe it's just a little bit of a bad streak. Every time the momentum builds on itself in a negative way. So it certainly makes me nervous moving down later on in the season. Kenny Ash says, I get running the ball at a slow clock, but I'm sorry, tired of us literally only trying to run clock out in second half just to do what's working. We could have put up 40 easy, but decided to just coast. Good win, though. I think some of that I understand that as a frustration. Like, it does seem a little less aggressive.
Like, stay on the gas instead of trying not to.
Yeah, I understand. I honestly thought they were going to pull Lamar for the fourth quarter. Like, that's how in control I felt. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how in control I thought this thing was going to go or going to be or seemed to be. But, Kenny, I mean, I understand your point. I mean, I don't know why you change things up when other teams have come down from a lead like this. So I don't know what the answer is. I feel like this is a league-wide thing. This happens a lot of, you know what I mean? I know that we have some bad stats in our favor, but it's always difficult to maintain a lead. I mean, these are professionals.
Well, especially when you're turning the ball over on special teams.
Losing possessions,
Yeah, doing silly stuff. I mean, stuff's going to happen. But, yeah, I mean, Kenny makes a good point there. I mean, good win, but – man, it just looked like we were coasting and just kind of took our foot off the gas and just hung on for dear life. And that doesn't show a lot of confidence in your offense.
Yeah, really quick before we get to this one, my funny moment of this game, Glenn, was I don't know if you noticed this. It was a bit quick, and then they took it off the screen. Lamar ran for the first down at the end of the game. Everybody's cheering in front of him. Did you see what's his name? Ronnie was like in his face, all excited. And Lamar must have gotten pissed off. Like, he was like, calm down. Like, I think he was tired of getting hit in the face or what his beef was or whatever. But he, snapped at Ronnie's down. He was like,
maybe they were slapping him too hard on the head.
Okay, dude. Like, all right. You know, it made me think of, like, when a small person scolds a big dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like weird looking because Ronnie was like, okay, you know, like, Yeah, but no, man, what a run to seal that
Yeah.
game up, boy.
And look, quick shout out to Nelson Aguilar. Gets just the one catch, but man, showed off that track speed, makes the first corner miss, and then tears ass down the sideline for a 56
That's all
yard.
he needed.
Man, that was special, man. A lot of chunk plays today, which was nice to see. Charlie Kohler also just one catch.
30
yards on that one catch certainly makes a difference in the game. Davis says the fourth quarter is a massive indictment on Harbaugh. The fact that we allowed that to happen after last week is a disgrace. Something needs to change. I mean, look, the final score ends up being just a 3-point win. It certainly felt like this should have been a blowout.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, it's on Harbaugh at the end of the day because he's the one, puppeteering and calling, I'm sure, look, a conservative game plan, if nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say otherwise, right? Hit the buck stops with him. So if you have a blame button, you can always blame it on him. I'm sure it's more nuanced than that, but ultimately it does end with him. And it's a trend that obviously needs to go away, right? That needs to stop trending.
Well, look, Jimbo, another trend that needs to it needs to be stopped right now is the penalties. And look, some
13
of them
today, right?
Dude, 13 penalties today. Unbelievable. And look, some of them, they're on us. But Jimbo, what the hell happened on this call? Can someone explain to me?
The Marcus Williams?
No. The roughing the passer on Odafe Owe. Can someone explain to me how this is football? Like,
when are these refs going to be held accountable? Like the players, like the coaches, we're all part of this thing, right? You're all part of the money-making machine. You're all making money off the gravy train. You need to be held responsible for this garbage that you put out on the field. Yeah, that's ridiculous, Glenn. You're absolutely right. When the television ref blatantly disagrees with you, that's a problem.
Dude, they said, he goes, look, there's a little bit of a lift. The guy said there's a lift. Where? Come on.
You don't think Odafe Owe could have lifted him over his shoulders and threw him?
Dude, not even the quarterback had the balls to turn around and try and complain. He was probably more shocked than Owe that there was a flag on that play.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me. No, you're absolutely right.
What? Ooh. Like, I mean, but look, even with this, you cannot have 13 penalties. It's unbelievable. You can't have 13 penalties. And it's always the pre-snap ones. It's the silly ones. Look, this one, that's just a ridiculous call. I mean, and
what about the Marcus Williams one too? The illegal contact downfield?
Exactly. I mean,
crazy, man. The thing that was bothersome to me about that one was how physical they were allowing the corners to be. And then Marcus literally just feels for the guy. I don't think he knocked him off his track. I think it's objective. Like, you can objectively say he didn't mess with his route. He didn't mess with his timing. He just feels for the guy. Like, that's it.
That's it.
And I think that is totally legal within every other play that you play. And they call it just crazy to me that they called that.
Yeah. Some of these calls have been unbelievable. I don't get take the challenge flags, like allow people to challenge penalties.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get it. Of course, we would lose it. We would challenge the wrong ones.
I know, right? We'd challenge a missed field goal. I'm pretty sure that was in. Go check again.
He calls in from the guy upstairs. Was that in? Yep, it was in. It was in. Challenge it. No problem. Massey says, bad Harb, so useless. Not going for it in the first half after no safety, which, by the way, how is that not grounding, intentional grounding and a safety? The guy tries to underhand it with two hands out of the end zone when he's clearly sacked. Unbelievable. Like, I'm glad you brought that up, Massey, because that just absolutely drove me crazy. Not taking a timeout before the onside to sort the team out. Tucker throwing it 3 on what is it? Penultimate possession. I don't know what penultimate means.
Penultimate means the second to last possession.
Wow.
So not the last, but the second to last.
Learning something. Yeah. Look at that. I had no idea. But yeah, I mean, look, Harbaugh didn't make a lot of he didn't do a lot to just quiet the Harbaugh haters out there. That's for damn sure.
No, and I'm going to take a pretty good bet that Massey speaks another Latin-based language because that's much more common in other languages, not in English. Just like you said, yeah. But yeah, it's funny. He just put number 3, Tucker.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. What did the Ravens do that the refs hate them so much? You're right. The grounding. I mean, I forgot about that. That was ridiculous. I just don't understand it. Every game. And look, we're Ravens fans, so it is what it is. But yeah, Kenny Ash, you're right. Why do the refs just seem to hate the dang Ravens? Like, I can't say the D word right now because my son's been on a kick of saying it. So sorry for editing your comment, but I just can't hear him. I can't have him hear me say it because he said it in church the other day. That's a problem.
I mean, he's right. I mean, when you just look at it, 13 penalties, 105 yards compared to 6 for 44. It just from an optics standpoint, it doesn't look good. And then when you actually see the video of some of these calls, or even some of the missed calls, like the intentional grounding we just talked about, it's just like, I don't like acting like a conspiracy. Like, I'm not. If anyone's been a fan of us, we're not always on here going, these refs hate the Ravens. But this
most of the time we're like calming people down because it like comes out in the wash. It kind of evens itself out. But
it's been weird.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit weird lately.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you got to control the ones you can, and they're not doing a good job at those either.
Doomgoy says, leave it to us to turn a butt-kicking breeze into a frustrating win. Are we the worst fourth-quarter team ever? Harb still got to go. What the F, Tuck, King, Henry. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that even though we got a W, there are of the many narratives that have been and will be talked about by local media and other folks such as us and others about the Baltimore Ravens will continue to be talked about. Justin Tucker, that issue was not put to bed. The fourth quarter collapses. While we won, that was still, in my opinion,
they won 19-0 in the fourth quarter.
Right. So still certainly classifies as a collapse. But now the one good thing though, just like you said, Glenn, the bright spot certainly Derrick Henry. And then let's not let this go away though, right? Like I feel like sometimes we'll do these things where it's like, all right, Derrick Henry's on board, we're good to go. Then we take a breath and it's like, okay, next game he had 8 carries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, let's keep going with this. We got a workhorse. Let's let him eat, as they say. And also, just quickly, I want to talk about a little bit on the defensive side of the ball because Kyle Hamilton, certainly most physical game that we've seen from him all year, leads the team with 12 tackles, including 7 solo.
Didn't he?
He did. There was one early in the game that he missed that still shocked me because I just expect him to make every open field tackle. But yeah, it was nice to see him out there laying the wood, showing some physicality, not looking like he's nursing any sort of injuries. He was out there being physical. Love to see it. Roquan, just 1 tackle behind him, 11 total tackles, kind of bounce back game for Roquan after a disappointing week last week. And then, man, Jimbo, Kyle Van Noy, bro. Like, I mean, this guy has a broken orbital bone, and all he does is have 4 sacks in the 2 games afterwards. Like,
it's wild, man. Shout out to Kyle Van Noy and the things that he's doing and the way that he's playing with precision, physicality, technique. He's doing a lot of great things over there. But I got to give a shout out defensively, one more guy. It might not. I think he had 2 PBUs. Might not show up in the stat sheet, but dude, our Darius Washington, played his butt off. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he had a penalty, right? I think. Oh, it got waved off. Remember, it was that. No, that was Wiggins. Never mind. I'm thinking of that PI that at the end of the first half that was waved off because they had a holding at the same time. They
nullified.
That was Wiggins, but no, our Darius Washington, dude. We say it every time we watch him. Dude, do the ball skills not just shine through?
Every time. CeeDee Lamb was no match for the ball skills of our Darius Washington.
Dude, and his family was in town. He's a TCU kid. I think he's from Texas, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Mm-hmm. He was hyped. He broke up, I think, 1 from Brandon Cook, 1 or 2 from CeeDee Lamb. He had the pass break, of course, in the 2-point conversion, and then another one. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the field. Shout out to our Darius Washington. And then we also got to give a shout out to Wiggins for coming in and punching that ball out.
Yeah,
CeeDee Lamb, man. They certainly frustrated 088 today.
Yeah. He was throwing fits on the sideline. He was showing some visible frustration. Mm-hmm. I love to see it when players are on the opposing sideline throwing fits. Nothing makes me happier.
Especially the receivers, right? Like,
yeah, just stir up drama, annoy your coaching staff and your quarterback. I love to see it. Mm-hmm. But also, look, Marlon Humphrey was out there battling. He had 2 pass breakups today. He had a QB hit. He was all over the field. I got to give Marlon a little bit of credit here because everybody calls him washed every time he's out there getting beat. Got to show up when I got to give him a little bit of credit when he's doing well. There, JP Bugs.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say there was one other thing as far as the defensive backs goes. Brandon Stevens figured out how to turn his head around. Ladies and gentlemen, they're in trouble because as soon as he turns the head around, guess what he can do? You know what? It's so funny to me, Glenn, because he's turning his head around. He still ain't worried about the ball. That just gives him permission to be more physical, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, look out. Brandon Stevens is continuing to evolve. Got that head around. It's problems, dude. Problems.
Yeah, if he can find the ball, look out. JP says Lamar was pissed when Harbaugh called generic run on third down to set up the field goal that JT missed. And he was right. 19 unanswered points. Yeah, I mean, man, if they would have lost this game, Jimbo, it would have been the sky is falling. Baltimore would have absolutely called for the firing of not just John Harbaugh, but the entire coaching staff would have been run out of Baltimore. Thank goodness they hold on to the win. But 19 unanswered in the fourth quarter is ridiculous. I mean, JP's right. It's unbelievable. You cannot have that kind of a fourth quarter collapse, even in a win, and feel good about it. Like, you can't feel good about that.
Nope, you can't. I mean, you're right. There's no way around it. You absolutely can't feel good about it. So what they do next and how they react is going to be important for this team. Kenny Ash says second half playing not to lose instead of playing to dominate. Yeah, it does seem different psychologically and strategically. Don't you think? Like the sense of urgency is kind of, once again, they do one of these. And it's like, okay, now what, right? Like your second half should be better than your first.
Yeah, it should be. Right? And it couldn't have been more opposite. 19-0. You're dominating the game. And look, I like the fact that they were running the ball to kind of try and end the game, but at some point, use that success and play action and get wide open, easy passes underneath. I mean,
Glenn, let me ask you a question. I'm pretty sure I saw a few play action passes in the first. I didn't see any in the second. Did I miss something? I don't think I saw any in the second half.
No, there wasn't. That's what I mean. Right. Like, I just don't get the
right now resistance. You get to reap the rewards of the work.
Yes, that's the easy part. Like, all right, we did the hard part. We established the run. We put the fear in the defense. Now let's do the easy part.
Right.
Fake it, pull the ball out of his belly, and get the ball down the field to our pass catchers.
Yeah, because you know that the backers are sitting there hearing their coaches in the back of the head, stop the run, stop. You know they're going to suck up, take that big hop forward, and you drop it over top of them, but it just didn't happen, man. It was weird.
Yeah, very strange. Tone the Virgo says Harbaugh is going to Harbaugh is going to have some pleasant words for the special teams. Tucker needs to quit the Royal Farms commercials for a while until he gets back to form. This game should have been over in the third. Good win. Yeah, it was a good win, much needed win. And if I told any Ravens fan that they were going to get this win, they would have signed up for it no matter how it looked. Yeah. But still did not leave a good taste in our mouth after that fourth quarter. And man, I mean, to his point about the fourth quarters, Jimbo, I want to throw this up here because look, it's not even just like the 3 points that were off the board. You cannot undersell momentum in the game of football and how much it can totally change how the game is being played. And just look at the drive success after the missed field goal. So the Cowboys end up turning the ball over on down. 7 plays, 39 yards. They turn the ball over. We get the ball. We move the ball 33 yards. But after the missed field goal, just look what the Cowboys went on to do. 6 plays, 64 yards, tutty. Next play, 7 plays, 56 yards, touchdown. Next drive, 11 plays, 91 yards, touchdown. It totally changed the game. Like, you cannot, Tucker, get your head out of your ass and make some damn kicks. Quick singing, dancing, and doing damn commercials and make some kicks.
Yeah, I don't understand. It was crazy. I felt like he shook his head as soon as he left his foot.
Yeah, where's his confidence?
I've never seen Justin Tucker like this before. I mean, at what point? I don't even know what we can do. I mean, I don't think we're stepping off of Justin Tucker at this point. I don't think he's going to hit the street as a free agent. But like, what do you do? What do you do?
It's psychological, man. It always is with these kickers. I remember Mike Vanderjagt was the most accurate kicker in NFL history. He missed a game-winning kick. He was screwed. I hope that he's more mentally strong than Vanderjagt was, but it literally took one big miss in his career to totally tank the rest of his career. I'm getting nervous, man. The pressure's building, and we saw one opportunity today. It was a 46-yarder. He boofed it. When's the last time you've seen him miss a 46-yarder?
Yeah, in a dome. I mean, I know there was light coming in, but it's a dome, right? Like,
I know there was light coming in. Jimmy.
But you know what I'm saying? Like the roof is open, right? Like it's not the Vikings or something like that, but there's no elements. You're not getting crosswind. You're not on grass. There's no uneven ground. There's no patches of grass flying everywhere. No, it was perfect conditions. The other guy hit a 65-yarder. Justin, you're paid much more than him.
Yes.
You are, a lot of people's eyes, first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, make it right. To Sean Pisker's point, boys, horrible win, LOL. Yeah, you're only saying LOL because it was a win. You're saying horrible win. See, that also would have just been no LOL, no laughing around here. However, there were a lot of positives from this game. Listen to Sean taking the high road.
Look at that.
This is a new Sean Pisker. I guess we will take the win. However, like I said 2 seasons ago, Tucker is probably washed. Sad to say. I'm not hopping off the Tucker train yet, Glenn.
Well, what does he have to miss a game winner and then you're done?
I don't know how long of a leash I have for Justin Tucker, but I still have the faith. I have the belief. I think he can get it done.
You're optimistic, Jimbo. But I hope you're right. I think we don't have a choice, right? There's no other options. So I hope he gets it figured out. But
he will.
Right now, would you feel good about him kicking a 52-yarder to win a ball game for you?
I believe that's the thing. I believe if all the chips are on the table, there's 1 second left in the game, we have 52-yarder, any stadium in the league, I think he nails it.
Okay.
I still think he nails it.
I will say this. Jordan Stout punted a hell of a lot better today.
Yeah.
Like, the dude was booming kicks and pinning them inside their own.
Yeah.
Give him credit. After
you know why, right?
The performance last
John walked up to him and was like, "You see all these kids in college on the tablet? I've been looking at all of them."
Yep. Oh yeah, he was.
I'll draft any of them.
Called them right out, and you know what?
Jordan?
Rightfully so. You're a young guy. You don't get the leash. You don't get the leeway that we give to Justin Tucker. Right. Not the way you've been kicking, but he kicked deep. He played really well today. Yeah, give him credit. KP said this team is cooked, man. Not gonna lie, last year was it. Well, look, I'll let me say this. It didn't help that we saw can the Steelers lose a game, Jimbo?
The Chargers. It's funny that Greg Roman just can't beat the Chargers. I mean Greg Roman just can't beat the Steelers.
Dude,
wait, did Herbert end up playing?
Yeah, he ended up playing.
Oh,
yeah.
Did I know he had the high ankle? I wasn't sure.
No, he ended up playing, and man, Justin Fields had a 55-yard touchdown where really, let's be honest. Look, if you just look at the box score, it looked like he had this great game. This dude, air yards were so low. That was an 8-yard pass that the guy took for 50. Like, I'm still not buying into Justin Fields, but yeah, 3-0 pisses me off. I really thought they were going to lose today, and then look, the Browns lose to the damn Giants at home. Danny Dimes is out here dealing. Like I thought we were good, but the Steelers, man, lose already.
And who did Cincy play today?
I think they played the Redskins or some shit.
Oh, right. It's against the Commanders. Yeah.
They're gonna beat them. Oh yeah, the Commanders. Gosh, is that ever gonna stop?
Wait, did I just say the Redskins?
No, I did.
Oh, did you? Yeah, the Commanders.
Let's see. Raven fan says necessary win. Yes, certainly was, but I don't feel better. Glad Henry got his and looked good. Not going to blame Tucker. Got a 70+ off a tee last week in pregame. He's trying to blame the holder. Well, look, in pregame,
the trajectory, right? You can just hit a line drive.
Yeah, there's not a 6'5" guy with his arm up in the air. No. I don't buy anything in pregame. I don't think he doesn't have the leg anymore. I just wonder, can he do it in game? Baltimore ain't.
So you think it's mental, not fact.
I think it's mental. Yeah,
because he's not 40. We're not talking about 40-year-old Vinatieri who just ran out of leg.
Yeah, he hasn't fallen off from a physical standpoint. I think it's a mental thing, and I hope he gets it right. Baltimore ain't ever a sexy team. We're gonna catch them. Yeah, I hope we're gonna catch them. We're gonna have 2 games at least to try and get back on the right side of things. But 3-0 start is not something I expected for the Steelers. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but the wheels are going to fall off soon, right? I mean,
I guess, but damn, man, they got a good coach, and it's Tomlin. He keeps
I guess
the
when
wheels
I say the
on.
wheels, when I say the wheels are going to fall off, they're gonna end up like 500, like 1 game over 500, right? I don't know. I just don't feel like they have an answer. I mean, look, the 3-0. What can I say?
They got a really good defense. They can run the ball.
A really good defense, yeah.
And to this point, they've been getting explosive plays here and there. Just enough, I guess. But
I guess just the way that they're winning doesn't feel like it's sustainable in today's NFL. Like the scores, what did they win last week? Like 12-15 or something weird. Like it was just like a weird score. 15-10 week 1.
I hope you're right. Let's see here. Kenny Ash says, love Fale, lead blocker on the run to ice it. Yeah, I mean, look, he had moments where he played well. I think he played better than what I saw. Like McCary, I think, struggled at times. Big time. I want to see more of Rosengarten. And man, I mean, Michael Parsons is just special. The way he did Linderbaum was a little bit. That was rude, dude. That was rude.
So mean.
He crossed his ass up, bro.
This is the only thing I don't understand. I'll never understand this. Like, it's so easy to say sitting here. But if I know a guy that's in front of me is way faster than me, Like, I don't know. I've never played offensive line. I'm just only referencing basketball, right? My first step is always backwards.
He tried to land a punch to knock him, and he missed
But, like,
that punch.
why? Why would you ever reach when the guy in front of you is 1,000 times? My first step is always backwards, dude. I got to stay between you and the thing behind me, which is the hoop or Lamar, right? Like, that was just bad.
Yeah.
Whew. I mean, it's Micah Parsons, right? But still.
Micah Parsons is something, dude. And the way he's running down Lamar, like.
I know. I also wonder how many times, how often Linderbaum's in a scenario where the guy on the other side of him has actually got faster feet and is significantly faster than him. It's probably not often, so he's probably not used to that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
Because he's to the big interior guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you one thing about the Cowboys: they might have a pass rush, but they can't stop the run. Bro.
Oh my gosh, no!
That's 2 weeks in a row where they just got absolutely embarrassed on the ground. Tom Votto says, "Guys, how is it that we thought, let's see, a strength? Hold on, we thought." Offense, I'm guessing, would be our strength, or no, maybe defense. I don't know. The secondary, our weak part of our D. Believe we are last in league in passing yards. Well, to his point, yeah, we gotta get something done as far as stopping quarterbacks from being able to throw for freaking 400 yards against us every game. Yeah. We shouldn't be dead last in the league in passing yards. Like I that's gotta be better. And maybe that means turning up the aggression a little bit from Zach Orr, and maybe get some more exotic blitzes. We did see some quarterback hits from the secondary members, but I want to see some more blitzing. Like, let's we got a talented secondary. Show it to us. Let's put these guys out there a little bit. Let's get some guys in the backfield and send more than 4 or 5 this time.
And so also that's true, but I think I have it up, Glenn. How many attempts did Dak threw it? 51 times. I know he had 379 yards. A lot of that damage obviously was on the fourth quarter, but a significant amount of that game, I thought the secondary was playing. I mean, obviously everybody, but the secondary was much improved.
Yeah.
I think really what we're talking about is a small piece of this game. Now that's all that matters at the end of the day. Obviously they came back, but as a whole, the secondary did look improved in my opinion. I think their hands were more active. I think they were more physical. I think all those things, they had how many PBUs did we have in this game? I don't know the number, but it has to be, DK said 9 PBUs. That's some active hands, dude.
That's a good point.
I think they played with physicality. So I understand Tom's point, right? Like, we want this to be our strength because we've doubled down and invested in this team in both draft equity and money. So it should be, and we do want to see more.
Well, maybe help them out a little bit. Well. Blitz a little bit. Get some pressure on the quarterback. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And
maybe that does mean more responsibility, but hey, they're paid well. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go do it. Kenny says Ardarius had a pick, but Cook threw him to the ground. Yeah, he definitely would have had a pick. That was a smart offensive interference call, or play, I should say. Yeah, that was man, Ardarius is special.
He is. It shouldn't have been some sort of a roughing or unnecessary or a something or a.
I mean, it was blatant. It was almost like when it's
like
clear path.
It's
almost like clear path or undercutting in basketball.
Right.
Like, it should be more than just a standard penalty when it's that blatant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's not a football play, as they say.
Not at all. Of course, now Adafe's play where it wasn't a football play either. So.
Oh my god.
How is that not a football play?
Like, that was maybe the worst roughing I've ever seen in my life, dude.
The guy was like, "Oh, he landed on them. He landed on him."
Like, legitimately, that might be the worst I've ever seen in my life. Like,
yeah, they want these guys to pull a matrix every time they touch the quarterback.
Like, that shit was crazy. Like, do they not know that Dak is a big, strong human being? Like, that's not a child that they're tackling. Like, that dude is massive. Like, you have to put some effort to tackle a person that huge. Rod Wave says, the defense is horrible. We can't depend on them. They're like a deadbeat dad. Damn. Great content, guys. I mean, they certainly don't look dependable to hold.
Rod, I really hope you're not speaking from experience. I hope you don't have a deadbeat dad because that would suck.
Well, I mean, I tend to agree with that sentiment there. But as far as the defense goes, you don't want to see them give up 19 points. But at some point, it's complementary football. The offense has to do their job to stay on the field, sustain drives. But, yeah, I mean, look, Zach Orr. Look, Mike McDonald had a pretty rough start to his defensive coordinator. If you remember, we were giving up tons of leads. We gave that huge lead to Miami. Everybody was saying, who the hell is this Mike McDonald? Was he the wrong hire? And then we know the kind of run he went on. Maybe it's some growing pains. Maybe that's the case. What's your take on the defense as far as blowing these big leads?
I do think there's a psychological lapse, but I also think, like you said, well, I think it's complementary football for sure. It's not all on the defense, right? The offense needs to do things in the second half to sustain more drives. I mean, you went down the list. It was touchdown, and I think it was 3 plays, and then they got a touchdown again. Yep. So how are you putting? I know they scored 2 touchdowns, but how are you putting your defense in an advantageous situation when you got the ball for, I think it was like a minute 11 or something like that? What are we talking about at that point? So the issues compound upon themselves, and so I understand that the defense has struggled, but it's always complementary football. The offense is not helping them out in these moments. Specifically about the defense, I think that it's going to be in layers. I think that we're starting to see more from Zach Orr. I think he's starting to figure this thing out more and more. Once again, I mean, just like the O-line, I think you've got to focus on improvement when you talk about the play call and the strategy from that Zach Orr, executes with his team. So to me, at the end of the day, I think he's taken a step forward in this game. I think we saw more pressure on Dak. I don't think he was very comfortable. I know he had 3 touchdown drives, but the majority of this game, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about 3 quarters, Dak was not comfortable. He was not at all. He was beat up. He was off. His timing was off. He was off his spot. So I think I've seen improvement. I'm not ready to bash on the defense yet. I think they're trending in the right way. We're still in the first quarter of the season.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. It was nice to see Wiggins out there playing.
Yeah.
Ass off after, the car accident, the red non-contact, unsure if he would even go. He goes out there and he plays some big snaps. Thomas goes on to say, how about the non-intentional grounding call on Dak? We should have had a safety there. Absolutely. Horrible miss.
When will they be held accountable, Glenn?
Dude, it just seems like, when can we get one of those? Like, can we get one of those, please? It just doesn't seem like we're getting any of those. We always say it evens things out. Like, hey, you have a bad one here. Later on, they'll make it up to you. Can they make it up to us by now? I mean, holy crap. It's
what's crazy to me? Think about this, Glenn, from a league-wide. I swear, I don't know who the referees union lawyer is, but the NFLPA, I swear, has less leverage in negotiations with the NFL than the stinking referees. Because the referees aren't getting treated the way they like. Guess what? They're out of there. Then bring the replacement refs, and it gets worse. Yep. Right? Like, how is this a thing?
They're like the mafia. The refs are like the mafia, dude. Well, they're untouchable.
I mean, it's just an insane thing to me because there's no. Did you see that after the call, John? After the roughing the passer call on Odafe Oweh, John's talking to the ref, and the ref does one of these faces, and I know what faces. He goes, he goes like that, and he's thinking like, oh, you got a point, like,
I got nothing.
But like, we're just gonna keep playing the game and give them 15 yards and a first down. But okay, cool. Like, right. What are we talking about here, guys? It's like when a cop throws you to the ground and then he goes, like,
that was a little rough.
Yeah, it's like, well, my jaw's broken now. Thanks.
Thanks. My shoulder's separated. Yeah,
exactly.
Joe Eckert says the radio, Jerry and Rob Woodson thought it was a safety. Yeah, everyone thought it was. I mean, first of all, they end up throwing the flag. They throw the flag. It's like, okay, they got it. They got him for grounding. It's going to be a safety. It happened in the end zone. And then like illegal touching. Well, then it was who threw it? If it was illegal touch, someone had to throw the ball, and there was no eligible receiver. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's weird. It's really, and even the rules announcer in the booth is agreeing with him. Man, that's a big difference. That's 2 points and the ball. That's a lot. No doubt about it, Joe. I mean,
all John gets in return is
a shoulder shrug and move on. The clock's ticking. Raven fan says our secondary is young and getting better. I'm so excited about our pass rush. I don't agree with Rod. They're only getting better. The O needs to sustain in the fourth. Yeah, I do think that our secondary. Look, Marlon's playing his ass off. You talked about Brandon Stevens out there covering sticky on dudes. We love to see what we're getting out of Nate Wiggins. I think Marcus Williams needs to step his game up a little bit, but the most physical game we've seen from Kyle Hamilton by far. So the secondary is getting better, and then Ardarius is just unbelievable. But yeah, man, offensive just keeps building. Just keep building offense. We saw a good game plan today. Let's keep building off of it. Let's work some more play action.
Right.
But is there a reason for encouragement going into the Bills
this
game?
Is my hope. This is what I'm holding on to right now, Glenn. I think that the Steelers are playing about the best they can play right now. And I'm hoping that we're playing about the worst we can play right now.
Okay.
And that they're going to start trending down, and then we're going to continue to trend up. That's what I'm hoping. In my mind, that's what I see going on.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I mean, I've been waiting for the shoe to drop on the Steelers for 5 years since they got rid of Big Ben, and they just find a way to continue.
Yeah, but like first in the division, and like I don't see those things, right? Like
probably not. Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, you gotta do it. I need to see those Steelers get a damn loss. Holy shit, they just keep winning. Devin says Cowboys went at Wiggins a lot towards the end, who was on CD Lamb. Rookie make mistakes, he'll get better, and still had the big fumble. Yeah, absolutely. Feel good about what we saw from Wiggins. Feel good about it. High leverage plays against one of, if not the best receiver in football. It's only going to make the kid better. I'm glad he was able to get out there and get that type of exposure on a win, make a big play, get some confidence going forward. Big game next week, man. Got to beat the Bills. It's an AFC opponent.
Huge game.
Look, every game now on out is going to be big after our 0-2 start.
Right, unless we go on some like 12-game winning streak, right? And I mean, then things will loosen up. But until then, like you said, every game is a huge game.
Yep.
Let's see. Kenny Ash says, I think 5 touchdowns scored on us this year. There have been at least one 15-yard questionable penalty against the defense. Yeah.
It's been bad.
It's been bad. I mean, how many penalties are we up to? We were at, 17? Now, is that 30 then? I think if my math is correct, for the year, we're averaging 10 penalties a game. Ugh.
Yep.
That's 2.5 penalties a quarter.
And, dude, the penalties, like we talked about earlier, how in the fourth quarter we didn't sustain drives. We didn't end the game, kind of put the foot on the throat, as they say, on the offense. Well, the penalties are a massive part of that. Look at this drive. So first of all, we come out of to start the second half. We go 5 plays, 70 yards, touchdown. We build the 28-6 lead. We then force a punt. And then, look, we get the ball back with a chance to really just ice it out. We run the ball for 3 yards on 1st and 10. Then we run it 9 yards. We get a first down, right? Then 9 yards again, Lamar Jackson. Then 3 yards, another first down. And then, look, on first down, again, Justice Hill, we can pick up another first down. And then what happens, Jimbo? What happens? A gosh darn holding penalty on Daniel Falele puts us to
that
first
was a
and
killer.
20. We run it on first down. We go nowhere. We scramble. We get a couple yards. And then ultimately we end up having to punt the ball and kick the ball. It's like penalties killed that drive. Then the missed field goal.
Even though you said the penalty, there was still another one in there. Did you see that?
Yeah, we had another penalty.
Yeah, the Voorhees one. And while that wasn't as much of a drive killer, the drive was already killed, if you will. That's still a problem as far as field position goes and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely shot ourselves in the foot when it came down to penalties and really just trying to close this game out. It's frustrating, man. Frustrating. You can't do it. But luckily, they hung on for the win. Thank goodness the Giants did their job. They beat the stinking ass Browns into the dirt. Let's hope that the Commanders, come on, Commanders, do your
something,
job.
Dude.
Don C says, Mama said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But did you see us almost choke up that 25-point fourth quarter lead? Yeah, we did see it, Don. I mean, look, people were like literally going, hey, we got a finally a relaxing game. We can chill. I said, this game ain't over yet. And sure enough,
it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. All right, DK, what we got next? Let's see. I would say great game, but it was for 45 minutes. This is from Don C as well. And for the love of God, has anyone in the Harbaugh family ever won against Tomlin? Screw you, Pittsburgh. Seriously.
Like, who they got next week, man? I got to look up these Steelers, dude. I need these goddamn Steelers to lose a game. Justin Fields ain't it, but he looks – if you just pull up the box score, it's like, oh, damn, Justin Fields, man. He's the one. If you watch the game, he's not it, dude. He's not it. I'm not feeling it. I still don't know how they do it. They do it every freaking Sunday, it seems like. But thank you, Don C, for the general.
Yeah, appreciate it. This is an interesting one, too. Tom Votto says, what's going on with Lamar-Andrews connection? Is Andrews' lack of production concerning? It is weird. I don't know if I guess it's kind of concerning. I mean, it's just weird. I mean, likely didn't really do much today anyway, unless I missed something. But yeah, it was a weird one today. That's for sure. I don't know if it's concerning. We'll see if there's a game where we throw the ball more than 15 times and Mark doesn't get more involved. That's a good point. You know what I mean? But I would say, Tom, let's wait and see is what I would say.
Yeah. But only 2 targets for both our star tight ends. A bit surprising there. I thought they'd actually be heavy target getters. But look, not a lot of passes. 15 targets total. No. Not a lot to
And
go.
they must have really saw something on tape that exposed those corners.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that we went to how many different pass catchers that were wide receivers that generally – how many times is Nelson, now he broke off a big play, getting a pass attempt between Mark and Likely get 2 each? Right?
Yeah,
like I feel like game plan wise, they must have seen something to emphasize the outside guys and attacking them. That guy that tried to tackle Nelson, I think, was a rookie, young kid. And so and even Diggs, maybe they saw something with Diggs. Obviously, they went to Zay in that big third down, the biggest third down of the game. They didn't look for Andrews. They didn't look for Likely. Not that, those guys wouldn't have got the job done, but I think from a matchup perspective is where they thought they had the best advantage. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think that's the way that they saw it. I don't think Diggs is a guy that's going to cover a guy like Zay Flowers.
Right.
He's that type of corner.
Yeah, no, that's not a good fit for him. And I think you're right on that. And look, they had 15 total pass attempts, 12 total completions, 7 different pass catchers. So nobody really had a big game. Right. Everybody was kind of sharing the ball, but
that means, let's see, it went to 2 backs, Charlie Kohler, and 4 different wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right?
And Isaiah Likely got 1.
Oh, and Isaiah. So 3 different receivers, and Isaiah got 1. Got you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I mean, it's surprising nonetheless anytime you come out of a Baltimore Ravens win to see Mark Andrews record 0 catches.
Donuts. Yeah. No, for sure. It is a weird one. Now, as far as the competition goes, we're going to get to the competition later on in the week. Yep. And then DK will, of course, reveal the winners. Also, what else was I going to say? Oh, we'll, of course, continue to break this game. If you guys are new to the show, first of all, hit the subscribe button. We are so close to 10,000. We never ask people for subscribers. Never, ever, ever, ever. I'm going to stop doing this now.
Sure.
But just subscribe, please. Can we hit 10,000, please?
Please, we're this
close. But all I want to say, exactly, all I want to say is if you're new to the show, Tuesdays we really take a deep dive into the game. We'll go into snap counts. We'll go into like some tape review. If we get someone to come on the game, we'll break it down much more detail, and then we'll start to turn the page to the Bills. But Glenn, you got anything else going on for this game? You got anything else you want to get off your chest?
No, big win, needed it. I mean, 0-3, I think interest would have started to dip. But 1-2, we're right in it. Anything can happen. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, I just want to say this before we end. Glenn, we are now undefeated when we give the caca at the end of the show.
Well, then let's end it on a good note.